No, I have to be really clear on that is not my job. The temptation.
That's what I mean. It must be tempting when you see that they're not quite right and they're all cramming everything in to say, this ain't going to work.
Yeah, that's beyond my remit. I'm just a hired gob at the end of the day. And sometimes for foreign clients, they'll send me stuff that is written in questionable English and really needs a good translator on it. And when I get the script through and it's shocking, I'll have the conversation with the customer and say, do you really want me to say that? Do you want to say? This is honestly what I had to say once. When it comes to chocolate, we like it brown. Honestly, I had to say that. And don't do it! No. So I really have to be strict and say, if you do, then we have to agree a creative input fee. But really, that's beyond my ken. The relationship with the producer is really important because your producer is largely your customer in the world that I inhabit, really. Of course, copywriters do cast scripts, and of course ad agencies do cast scripts, but really in the independent local radio market, the producer is the person who decides who's going to voice which commercials. And if you get a really good relationship with your producer, you know exactly what he's going to want because he trusts you, she trusts you, whoever. And they'll know the style of music, more often than not, that's going behind you, which dictates the style of delivery that you've got to use. He'll have, if he's had time, which isn't always the case, he'll have checked on the pronunciations and how they want the phone number read, and how you're going to say this acronym, and all those things. And also, he will, if you, say it's a really hideously overwritten script, and it's reading at a pacey 36, and you've got to get it into 30 seconds. He will record you at probably 31, maybe 32 if you can bear it, and then he'll help you digitally by squeezing you and chopping the breaths out. But there are a lot of producers who aren't confident in their skills because they're very new to the job, or they're doing 3 other people's jobs, which is again another kind of thing that's happening a lot in radio. It's a real consequence of the recession. And if they haven't got the confidence to do that, then frankly, I'm risking an embolism in the middle of a script to get it in time. So the relationship with the producer is really crucial. You have to trust each other and you have to know what they're going to want. Yes, that's a very good question. Yes, I do turn down stuff. I turn down, you know, these hideous automated unsolicited call things that you get? Hello, my name is Claire, are you in debt? I absolutely point blank refuse to do those. I refuse to do porn. I've been asked to...
Why?
I've been asked to do lots of porn phone lines and dubbing for porn films. Really bizarre. I had a phone call.
You get a translation for that as well.
I had a phone call once from some bloke who phoned me up and said, you just know from the get-go, you do phone lines. So I said, depends what it's for. I said, it's a medical advice line. So I said, oh right, what kind of medical advice? Diabetes, perhaps? Pregnancy? I don't know. So there was a pause. He said, anal sex. I don't do that. I also don't do any psychic lines or anything like that. Anything that's, or competitions, you know, scam competitions. I don't do anything like that. I do get asked to do it, but I'm quite stringent, really.
So you feel confident that you'll get the work that you want and you're able to turn down the things that you don't want to do, just that would give you financial reward but that you're not interested in?
I couldn't live with myself, to be honest, if I did something like that. I just think it's bad karma for me. Unfortunately, I'm busy enough that I can afford to turn down the kind of work that I would be less proud of. Both. I have a London agent that handles the bigger London agency, Soho-based stuff. But for the majority of work, it comes through word of mouth. Producers do talk to each other a lot. I mean, in the radio industry in particular, is such a small industry, isn't it? I mean, everybody knows everybody else. Everybody slept with everybody else. Everybody's worked with everybody else. It's quite an incestuous business. People just kind of shift and move around from station to station. So, you know, your reputation is everything in the radio business. So a lot of it's word of mouth. My website plays a huge part in marketing, and that's certainly true of corporate clients. And again, another kind of manifestation of the increase in technology is that the middleman's being cut out. So direct, a customer will come to me and want me to record something specifically for them without a production company being involved, because the software is so user-friendly they can make it themselves. So the skill set isn't as huge as it once was for some projects. Often people underquote based on my quote. It happens all the time, and there are so many people who think, oh, being a voiceover is easy, you just sit in front of the mic and you just talk. I can do that. But there's a whole skill set involved with being a voice, and frankly they can't. You pay a premium for people who are experienced, and that's really how it should be.
It's how it should be, but that's not how I'm finding it. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, but I really do feel that I can't charge like mega bucks, but I have to charge realistically, because otherwise everything's just going to crumble. Well, fortunately, the work that I'm getting in is of such a volume that I can kind of live with people that say, oh, I'll get it done for 50 quid then. Fine.
But the people who are saying 50 quid, I mean, I suppose the thing is about, from what I perceive about what Emma's done, having been to a house and sat in a studio. I mean, she's built a whole studio in a house. She's kept up with the technology, haven't you? So, and she's got, you know, a whole workroom associated with that, so that she can do it on the computer and send it around the world. But I suppose the other thing is, I mean, the actual voice is, in one sense, a small part of it, because as I understand it, people are coming in all the time. So you're responding from people around the world, you know, on an hourly basis. So it's very difficult to plan, because people want things really quickly. So it's not just that Emma can do the voice, it's that she can deliver it in the format that people want at the time they want. Yeah. You know, so it's a whole raft of things, and that's what you're paying for, and that's why, you know, somebody doing it for 50 quid, you know, on their phone or whatever, is not going to be the same.
Well, I wasn't suggesting I was going to do that.
Well, further to that, you know, Emma's saying you pay for experience, and that's true. Somebody who said, yeah, I can do that 50 quid, it wouldn't be as good as Emma.
No, I accept all that. I think there are an awful lot of creative industries where that has happened, where the kind of the idea of experience and knowing what you're doing has been whipped away. The fact that everybody can go, oh, I can do that then.
Yeah, exactly.
But being part of equity, of course,
it does help.
Chris,
sorry, Chris.
Yes.
All right. Hi.
I think the thing I enjoy most about my job is the banter with the producers, because if I didn't have that, my life would be quite soulless, because I'd be just in my studio all the time, just reading.
Lonely.
Yeah, it is. Because I work from home, you know. I mean, I do share my studio with a male voice as well, which is great because I've got company. But it's really nice to kind of have somebody to chat to. And some of the sessions that I do with the producers I work with on ISDN, it's like a sort of support group.
For me, you know, I do this day in, day out. It's my only social interaction. I'm not used to being around
share
people.
Problem.
But you know, it's just like ISDN sessions and Facebook, and that's it for me.
Should get some webcams going on.
Oh,
no,
God.
No. I don't want to see anybody.
I think the biggest challenge is there are various. At the moment, it's which one is the greatest challenge? Because there are many.
Yeah.
I think the greatest challenge is maintaining a sense of self-belief in a time of recession, and that will enable you then to charge the money that you feel you deserve, and to fight harder for the money that you feel you deserve. Also, the technological challenges. You know, it's moving fast, so keeping ahead of that and knowing how to mend your PC when it breaks, which is why I've got a Mac. But keeping ahead of those kind of things. But also, I think the biggest challenge for my line of work is the social isolation, actually, because I'm there in my little studio in my converted lavatory. It is actually a converted lavatory. Talking to people all over the world that I never meet. I mean, I've just met Simon for the first time today.
It's actually the second time, but the last time you saw me I had long curly hair. The dress.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a challenge, because I think it's really important that people that work in isolation, people that work from home, people that work by themselves and just rely on technology to deliver their product, don't lose touch with the people that they do business with, and even people in their community. Otherwise, you can just be, like I have become, rather socially autistic.